Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of the Raw Men. This is a special live interview and we're doing this from Düsseldorf, Germany, where I have been introduced to a couple of, let's say, Islamic apostates who are now refugees in Germany. This is Rana, not her real name, and Nadir, and I'm not sure that's his real name either.
No, anyway, it's not real name.
But I have been told by some very excellent hosts here in Germany that I needed to talk to both of you because that you had very compelling stories. And I wanted to get it together, the two of you together, because I understand there's a common theme with you being ex-Muslim apostates, refugees in Germany. So I talked to Nadir a little bit earlier, but I'm going to ask him some of this again. Rana,
Yeah.
tell me how you end up in the refugee in Germany thing, please.
I arrived to Germany in November.
This year?
Yeah.
Okay.
And now it's 5 months, I think. To stay in the camp with the Muslim people, and they know you are look like not a Muslim, and they think you are Christian, and they be sure you are not Christian also. Now the Muslim people get angry because you are ex-Muslim, you are atheist. They start to be afraid.
All right, hold on. We got to get some backstory here. I'm aware of how the people watching this are not going to follow what you just said.
Yeah.
So you say you came here to Germany in
Yeah.
November, but you didn't say where from.
I was in Saudi Arabia.
You were in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, I born there and I live there. I study there all my life. It was in Saudi Arabia.
So we're going to get into how you got here momentarily, but you mentioned a camp.
Yeah.
Where I guess I understood that you're relatively safe if they think you're a Christian. Was that?
If you are not, if I am woman and I am not cover my hair and I don't wear like a Muslim, they think I am Christian.
Aha. And as long as they think you're Christian,
Yeah.
you're relatively okay.
Yeah. But when they get information, I am not Christian, I am atheist, now the problem starts.
So what they put you in a camp.
Yeah.
And I asked Nadir about this earlier, what this camp means. Apparently, from my earlier conversation, it would seem that Germany still designs camps the way they did in the 1940s, if you follow what I mean. So they've decided that people who come from Muslim backgrounds should be put in camps full of practicing Muslims, even when they're not practicing Muslims. And of course, we all know what the stance is on Islam for people who are not practicing Muslims anymore. Can you please explain to me what you mean, you or Nadir, explain what you mean by a camp?
The camp is the place where the refugees has to stay by law of Germany, and this is very isolated places, and some places are they call the sports hall or something, that people, the children of the school where they play is a playground, is converted to the shelter of the refugees, and in one sports ground or those sports hall 100 to 150 people have to stay in the same room.
150 people.
Yeah.
All have to. And what kind of room? Are we talking about like a school gym?
You can say a school gym, or
Okay.
it's not really big, and 150 is really crowded, and it doesn't matter if you're a woman or man. You have to all live in the same place. And
That's just for me, from my perspective as an American, it's difficult for me to understand. And I talked to some other ex-Islamic refugees from other countries, but I didn't get the story of them being in camps. So that's just a shock to me, especially the way you're describing it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you told me earlier that it was literally hell.
Yeah, it was literally hell. Yes, and I can tell you my experience that when I asked for the asylum, they sent me to the North Rhine-Westphalia. There's a state of Germany, and I was in kind of middle of nowhere. It's a very small village, and the camp was ex-British military barrack or something like that, and it looks like literally like a prison. and the sanitation, the health system, everything is really unhygienic there. It's really bad, and the treatment from the authority is also not really good.
The treatment from the authority, the way you're being treated by the people who run the facility?
Yeah.
I say, well, what is your experience? Is it similar?
When I was in the camp, if they don't know you are ex-Muslim or you are atheist, you will be in. It's okay. But when they know you are really, it's the problem starts beginning.
And you can't get out of that.
You can get out after you have visa or you have transfer from this camp.
Okay, and your experience has been the same. Did anybody find out while you were in the camp that was...
Yes, I tried to hide myself, but anyway, I had bad experience. My roommate get to know that I am an atheist, and he was Muslim, and he was mentally ill, and once he attacked me with a knife, and he said, "Oh, you are atheist. You should not be here."
So it's a strange thing when you're faced with religious people who want to cure you of being not sick. So how did either of you, and whichever one wants to volunteer first, how did either of you end up in this situation? I mean, I'm trying to, while you think about that, I'm trying to imagine that you're in this prison-like situation, but you're also fleeing from something that must surely be worse
Yeah.
than where you are now. I mean, and I'm trying, I don't even want to know what's going through your head as you're in this kind of abysmal situation, or what you're coming from either, but either one of you, please, how did you and why did you end up in this situation?
Okay, my story is that I had to flee my country because I wrote something on my Facebook that I'm not Muslim, and then I got lots of threats, and they said, okay, my time will come, and once they attacked me.
When they say your time will come, I mean, you're talking to somebody, you're receiving...
No, received the text message via Facebook.
So you're getting death threats over Facebook?
Over Facebook, yeah. And they literally tried to do that once on 22nd of February 2013. Anyway, I had a business exhibition in Germany, so my plan was to come here. And I came here and I thought that I would go back after 2 months, but it didn't happen because at that time the situation became worse and worse in Bangladesh. And as you know, last 3 years, almost 13 free thinkers and atheist people has been killed by the Islamic. So I didn't had any choice to go back. I had to stay here. Mm-hmm. So then I asked for the asylum here. So the next story is the camp, and I'm lucky that I have the permission right now. I here to stay here in Germany. So now I'm staying in my own flat. At least I'm mentally satisfied that I don't have to stay in the camp anymore in that prison.
So I mean, I'm thinking about the situation that you left, where you're receiving death threats like this, and then you have somebody attempt to, or make an attempt on your life. It's similar to what we've heard from the other Bangladeshi bloggers, where somebody just shows up with a knife or a machete and just attacks you in the street, right?
Yeah.
So, and you just happened to have a business arrangement so that you could get out of the country, so you didn't need to worry about visas or anything at that moment, at least.
Yeah.
A couple of months maybe that you could work on it. And we'll get back to your situation in a moment, but Rana?
Yeah.
I got it right. I've forgotten your name like 5 times today. I'm so sorry. But anyway, what was your situation? So where are you coming from and why?
I live in Saudi Arabia. I was ex-Muslim since 5 years before. I feel enough to live like a Muslim girl, but I am not. I feel enough to make all the stuff for the Muslim people, and I am not. My passport will be end in the December of 2015, the last year, yeah. And if I don't get out before it's ending, I will look there, because no Syrian embassy in Saudi Arabia now. It's closed, and if it's end, my family it's not renew it. and I will check there, and I can move from Saudi Arabia.
And what was the relevance of the Syrian embassy? You mentioned there was no Syrian embassy. Why would you
Yeah,
need a
they
Syrian?
closed it because some problem about Syrian government and Saudi government.
Just because your parents were Syrian?
Yeah,
Okay.
my parents are Syrian.
Okay. So you said you were an ex-Muslim
Yeah.
for 5 years. I'm always curious about people's deconversion stories. How did you realize you don't buy any of this anymore?
Before I be ex-Muslim, I live like a Muslim girl. I don't know anything about evolution, Big Bang, this information, this knowledge. It's like another word for me. When you live in Muslim country, Muslim education, Muslim family, you will not get this information if you will stay far from someone can give you this information, or far from the internet to get this information. I get this information from internet. The first time I hear about atheist, it's from internet. This word, I don't know what's mean before I enter this word.
Okay, so you get on like so many other people. You
Yeah.
get on the internet and you just go, whoa. Everything I've been taught so far is bullshit. So how then, if you're like living, I guess, in some kind of disguise because there's a death sentence in Saudi Arabia. And I have to throw in my own personal anecdote. I mean, a couple of months ago, I was in Dubai, and I was in some place where I could finally speak to the Arabic women that were living there, and we were at a concert, and these women were wearing jeans and makeup and drinking alcohol because they were blending in with the Westerners. Because in Dubai, Westerners and Arabs have a different set of laws. There's a double standard. It's actually a racist legal system in a sense. So these Arabic women were complaining to me that the only advantage they had to living in Dubai was that they could blend with the Westerners this way, and that the only good thing they could say about it was that it wasn't Saudi Arabia. Apparently Saudi Arabia has a really bad reputation, and nobody can run or hide there, and I guess that was
If I am Saudi girl, if I have nationality of Saudi, I can get out without members. Without members make my passport or make my permission. I can. I need my father, I need my brother, I need my husband to make my passport. If I go to passport office and I ask to make passport for me, they told me back and bring your father or your brother. The women in Saudi Arabia, nothing without men.
You have no agency of your own. A man has to speak for you.
Yeah.
So how did you pull this off?
Because I still have my Syrian nationality. Even if you born there or you grow up there, you not get Saudi nationality. This thing, it's helped me a lot to get out.
You have to be born to Saudi parents, not just born in the country, but your parents have to have been born in the country. Okay. Go ahead.
I still have my nationality, Syrian nationality. When I was in Saudi Arabia, I make a plan how I can get out from Saudi Arabia. I have to work. If you are non-Saudi and you work in Saudi Arabia, your visa, it's transfer from your dad to the manager. You work with it in Saudi manager. The Saudi manager, it's the one who give you permission to get out from Saudi or to back or to stay.
Okay, so you got like a work visa then?
Yeah.
And where were you going to work? What?
I work like a secretariat. I tell my manager I have to travel with my parents to Syria to make renew for our passport and have some vacation. He believe me and he make permission for me to travel, and he give me this permission. So sure, my family, they don't know anything about this. Like normal day, I go to my job. My dad bring me to my job. When he left, I stop taxi and I go to airport.
But Aaron, I think I get a point from her that Saudi system is a kind of still there's modern day slavery is existing there.
Yeah.
That if someone has to go out from the country or do something, they have to take permission from the boss of where they work. So
You mean a regular citizen?
no, not the regular citizens, the foreigners. Like she is Syrian, so she has to take the permission from the manager of our Saudi manager of our work.
That's a whole other dimension I hadn't even thought of.
Yeah, so it just suddenly came up. It seems like that is really modern slavery is existing in Saudi Arabia. Anyway, it's your country's ally, best friend.
I don't know what to say about that. I heard much the same thing about Dubai. I heard that a lot of it was built on the backs of virtual slaves or literal slaves.
Yeah, that's true.
And the disturbing thing about that is that Dubai is presented, or certainly presents itself, as the most progressive of all the Islamic states. So it was disturbing to see that they have these laws where Arabs are required by law to believe in Islam. Westerners can do whatever they like.
Yeah.
Like we're a different species or something. I don't get it, but it was very sad. And of course, I met people in the regular population who were not believers, but and they understand that if it's found out that they're not believers, that they're going to go to prison. At least they won't be killed, which I guess counts as being progressive. I always thought that it was immoral to judge somebody based not on their deeds, but on their beliefs. And that, of course, means that I have criteria to judge God himself as being immoral, at least the way the Bible depicts it. So you left just your parents, your siblings, brothers, sisters?
I leave my parents. Yeah, I have two brother. I leave my university. I leave my work. I leave my friend. Everything to live like atheist. I don't want to wear hijab. I don't want to talk like a Muslim. But I am not. It's enough for me to say it's enough. I want to change my life, whole my life, even if I lost my family or I lost everything, to live like how I am. I feel enough to liar for 5 years. It's enough for me.
I want to specify what she means by live like an atheist, because I know a lot of Christians will give us hell that that we only pretend that we don't believe in God and we do this because we love our sin. I'm guessing that that's not your primary motivation. Like for example, when you said you don't want to talk like a Muslim, what do you mean when you say that?
You know this word. If you are Muslim, you have to say Assalamu alaikum, and it's like a hi or hello. But if you are not Muslim, you say marhaba. If you're Muslim, you have to say Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Why do you have to say that? I mean, does somebody punish you if you don't say it?
No, it's a kind of Muslim. If you don't say it, someone asks you, why you don't say it?
And then you're found out again.
And you say when you finish your food, Alhamdulillah, it's like thanks for God. I think Christian use this word when they finish the food.
Yeah, unfortunately atheists use words like that too. I mean, for whatever reason.
For me, I say thanks for the universe, or thanks for the nature, or thanks for...
It's a habit I'm trying to fix, but I still, when I get frustrated, I say, God damn it. And I'm angry that I say that, but as Bill Maher pointed out, atheists still call out God's name while we're having sex. So and I was told by my hosts here in Germany that both of your stories were shocking. And he mentioned how there was an attempt on his life, and apparently this was a coordinated effort that also included all of these other Bangladeshi bloggers and their attacks. Is there a similar sort of event in your past, or did you escape that? Were you attacked either there or when you got here?
Yeah, the bad experience I have in Saudi Arabia, I go to Mecca when I was atheist. And I don't have choice to go there, my mom, because it's start to say what time I have period. Because when the women have period, it's not allowed to pray, not allowed to go to Mecca, not allowed to be fasting. I don't know what's the problem about this with God.
Well, it's bad blood.
Yeah.
And the Christian version of the Bible, describes that you can't even approach a woman when she's on her period. Yeah. Which creates an interesting situation if you're ever in court and the judge is a woman.
She started to say what time I have it or not, and when she decided to go to Mecca, she said you can go and you can make Umrah. It's stuff for Muslim.
Pilgrim.
Yeah. I go there, but I was killed from inside because I don't want to go there, and I don't want to be around 2 million Muslim. I take some.
Neither do I, coincidentally.
I take some paper and I write Atheist Republic, and I put it like there. The Kaaba, it was.
You wrote it on your hand?
Yeah, my hand, and I don't show my face.
But you had it written on your hand.
Yeah, in my hand.
Did you figure out after you wrote? Oh shit!
No. When I make this photo and I send it for Atheist Republic to say some atheist people here, some atheist people, they don't have choice to come, but they come, and it was a lot of share comments, all this stuff. But
I can just see you washing your hands as soon as you get.
I was.
Why did I write that on my hand? I could have written that on a piece of paper that I could throw away.
No, I threw it in the garbage because it's not.
Throw
It's like,
it in the garbage?
No, that's a paper.
Oh, so you did write it on paper?
Yeah.
I thought you wrote it on your hand.
No, in the paper. No.
Can you imagine? Yeah, as soon as she's finished writing, it takes back. Oh wait.
You have to see this photo on Atheist Republic page.
Okay. I will happily look that up. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen one that says it was in the same scene where they said, you know, I'm proud to be an atheist. A piece of paper like that. I'm like, you know, that guy's brave, but no.
We have girl now.
much better. So you said that was your bad experience.
Yeah.
You were,
Also, I tried to kill myself when I was in Saudi Arabia because how you live when you are not like a really person, you are someone else. I am not Muslim, but you have to live like a Muslim. I don't want to wear my hijab, this stuff. I was cover my face also, only my eyes, it's out, it's okay.
yeah, that was such an odd thing being in the mall in Dubai. And seeing all these, you know, Western women walking around with their hair out and you know, the mini skirts and all like that, and then seeing all the little mailboxes, you know, the little black outfits, the burqa. Yeah, and I know that there's all these people. There's several of these girls that really don't want to be there. They really don't want to be dressed that way, and of course they can't say anything. So you said this drove you to the point of trying to kill yourself?
Yeah. When I was in Saudi Arabia. My brother it's younger than me 2 years. He put the recording machine in my room to hear with who I talking. I have boyfriend or no? You know, this is the sex in the religion. It's the big and the holy thing. You have to care about it. He want to know if I have boyfriend, if I love someone. And he heard me. I called some friend. I talked to him like I have some joke, and he think he is my boyfriend, and he come to our home and try to kill me. And
Wait, what? Who?
Try to kill me. My brother. It's
brother?
normal in Middle East.
Your brother tried to kill you.
Yeah.
Because he thought you had a boyfriend.
Yeah. It's normal in Middle East.
Okay, so yeah, you know, we're always told, you know, that you have to have religion in order to be a good person, that you have to believe in God or in order to have any degree of morality at all. And yet I hear stories like this. Can you imagine an atheist going out and killing somebody because they believe in God? You know, I don't care if you believe in the flying spaghetti monster or you know or Allah or Vishnu or whatever the fuck. You educate, not execute.
I think you do know that the religious people always think that the atheists always like to eat the children's brain. And they have breakfast in the morning and the children flash.
So okay, so you mentioned this one attack on your life. I'd love to hear a detail about what happened to you when they tried that.
It was that I was coming back from my office, and as it was just near to my home, it was a little dark, and one motorcycle came, and two people were in the motorcycle wearing helmet, and it just stopped in front of me because I was walking to my home, and that guy who was passenger seat behind, and he jumped up with a knife. and he jumped like this, and anyway I noticed it, and it's a self comment or reflective motive. So I did like this, and it's
He missed.
he missed it.
His arm hits your arm. The knife
Yeah.
doesn't. Okay.
He missed it, and behind me there were some people, and they started to shout, and some other people came, and they just ran away. So luckily I survived that, and yeah, luckily I survived that.
So you end up on this business trip, this fortuitously timed business trip that gets you out of the country. And then what changed your mind about going back?
I would love to go back to Bangladesh because I'm really missing my country, and I want to change my country too, because my country, when my country founded, is based on secularism. But right now, secularism is far. It's
When was the establishment of the secular government you're talking about? When did that happen?
It was 1971 when we got the independence from West Pakistan.
Gotcha.
But I would love to fight for, and all our free thinkers or the bloggers or atheists, they would love, our progressive people, they would love to get back Bangladesh as a secular country again, and the secular atmosphere what we had before, and we doesn't have that, and we don't have that anymore. And I would love to go there, and I'd love to have that secular country back again. But I'm not sure that I can go back so soon or in near future, because right now the situation in Bangladesh is very bad, and in every couple of months they're killing the free thinkers. Even the publisher of the book publisher who published the books from even Ajay Roy and some other progressive writers or atheist writers, they has been also killed in just a few months ago. So I'm really afraid to go back right now, and I think not only me, and some of our prominent or famous bloggers and atheists also outside of Bangladesh right now. Like one of our biggest voice, Asif Mohideen, he is living right now in Berlin. So he also wants to go back to Bangladesh, but it's definitely not safe for him to go back, because he is the outspoken person of us.
Mm-hmm.
So he's a very he's the top target of the Islamics.
So she left behind her family, the father, the brothers who tried to kill her, and don't seem like you're missing that much. I'm sorry to be dismissive. What did you leave behind?
I also left behind my family, my parents, my son.
You have a son?
I have a son. And my brother, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's also...
How old is
my
your son?
My son is 9 years old. And anyway, my brother, I have only one brother, and he's getting married on Friday, but I'm not there.
He's getting married this Friday.
This Friday.
Okay.
But I'm lucky at this point. My family, my parents are religious, but not like her family. My brother is also...
Another Muslim, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Is everybody in Bangladesh Muslim, or do they have an integration with other religions? And I'm curious if there are representative other religions. I mean, how are they tolerated? How do they get by?
I would say that most of the people, they really don't give any shit of the religion in their daily life. They are drinking, having sex before marriage, and
Muslims drinking?
it's very common, you know.
You wouldn't believe the stories that I've heard from people in Saudi Arabia and people in Dubai and Iran, and they're saying, well, you should see what we do.
Yeah, most of the people are really like that. They really don't give any shit. Maybe some people goes to the mosque once in a year or once in a week, and they don't even pray or anything. But in some sort of they believe in God or they believe in religion, but they are not practicing. But they are not the problem, because they don't have any kinds of voice. They either they're dominated by the Islamist or Islamic political party or the other political parties, because
The Islamic political party. That's a beautiful thought. How religion is always intertwined
yeah.
with politics.
Yeah, it's I think you get to know that in Germany there's Christian Democratic Union. It's also the political party on the faith of Christianity.
Mm-hmm. So on the previous question, are there? Because I hear that in Iran there are Jews who live and they're tolerated by the community. Whatever, they even have special rights about what they can do that Arabs can't. But are there people in Bangladesh who are Hindu or Christian or what have you that are open about it? I mean, are they tolerated?
Yeah, it's very tolerated because historically Bangladesh was a Muslim country. The whole region was the Hindu country.
So then the issue becomes when you're not a believer at all.
Yeah, it's from the both sides. If you are non-believer, the Hindus also don't like you. Even the Christian doesn't like you. Don't like you. And there's also another thing. Right now, or after the liberation, or last 30 years, at least I am experienced last 15 years or 20 years, that all the political parties are torturing or raping or doing some other stuff to the minorities, the Hindus, because of the political reason. Because they are minor, so they can take out their lands, they can kill them, they can do whatever they like because they are minor. They cannot say anything. It's also
and when you say minor, do you mean, are you talking about the caste system? Are you just talking about the demographics?
Demographic,
Okay.
because the religious demographic is you can say
they don't have a political voice.
Okay. But it's also I think it will be so long if I want to describe everything. But I have to say very single sentence that our secular government, who claim themselves as secular or the secular political party, and who they think that the minority or the Hindus or Christians are their vote bank, and they always vote for them because they're the secular party. But this party, when in the power, they also take the land from the minors, and
these are people calling themselves the secular party in order to influence the oppressed religions?
Yeah, and they do that. Yeah, and
Okay.
even the secular political party is right now in the government, and these all the atheist people or the free thinkers has been killed or attacked when the secular government is in the power, and the secular government says that they will not tolerate any kinds of criticism against religion. Even our prime minister says that.
Well, how convenient.
Yeah.
Was there anything else you wanted to add to this before we close it out?
Yeah, I want to say we have now some atheist people in Saudi Arabia, girl, they kill themselves because they can't get out from Saudi Arabia. They live like a Muslim, but they are not, and they can't do anything. They can't fix the situation. They can't get out. Some of them kill themselves, but no one will know the story. No one will know why. No one will know. And even in Saudi Arabia, they don't publish anything about that. This important thing I have to say.
One of the criticisms we often hear when Christians in the United States are trying to defend their religious beliefs is they refer to all of these people who were martyrs for their belief system, and they criticize people saying, when did you ever die for something you didn't believe in? But that's exactly what you're talking about right now. And did you have anything you want to add before the end?
I would love to say that as an atheist or the secular activist, we need to be more active. We need to be more active to save our other secular activists and the atheist people around the world. It's not happening only in Bangladesh, it's happening in India, it's happening in Middle East, it's happening in Africa, even it's happening in Germany. So, but we need to be all together, and we need to create a big force, secular political force all over the world. because we are saying that Western world is more secular. The truth is that only few countries are secular, and most of the countries are not. Anyhow, they are dominated by the religion, either Christian or other religions. So for the humanity, for the sake of humanity, we have to be united. We have to fight for our future and for our children. And I also want to say that the religious people never believe in the climate changing, and climate changing is really a big issue. And my country, Bangladesh, will be one of the first country who will be affected, who is already affected for the climate change. So
Didn't you say they were going to be underwater?
yeah, we are going to be under in the next 70 years or 100 years. But we need to think about our future, not just killing each other in the name of imaginary friends or for some fairy tales.
Yeah, exactly. All right, I'm going to include any links that either of you want me to share at the bottom of this video, and I thank you guys for tuning in. Good night.